Hi guys, it's me, just Lonesome again, and for this video that I will be dedicated to my birthday month in June of 2026, I shall be talking about a very important movie for me as a kid, because it involved two things that I enjoy and love coming together and making a very fine product, in my opinion. Now, this movie is along some lines as the Kingdom Hearts video game series, in which it's a smash of classic Disney characters and Final Fantasy characters. Now, we all know and love most of Disney's anime catalog from the past, right? But I was kind of unfamiliar with all the characters from Final Fantasy when it came out. I know about like Cloud and Sephiroth and even Tifa. Oh, what did I know about Tifa? So we're thankful to be able to find out about certain things with that franchise, and it was a very delightful game to boot. This movie, Space Jam, of which I could swear to you I had the original single disc for it, but this was combined with three other movies. This was my Kingdom Hearts when I grew up. It was in '96, I believe it came out in, and let's say it was really awesome, because I knew a lot about the various Looney Tunes characters like Pepe Le Pew, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Elmer Fudd, and the list goes on and on and on and on. I even know about Tiny Toons, which, by the way, it was very nice that I could retrofit Lola Bunny into the Baby Looney Tunes canon. That was a very smart move, I think. To put her in like a baby form with the others in the franchise. But in any case, this was pretty much it. Yeah, I knew everyone from Looney Tunes, as well as some more obscure characters like that weird big-headed chick, that little chick with big glasses. I know about Miss Fussy, the one that the chicken that can't get it, man. I know about Little Itty Bitty Mouse. I think it was Little Sneezer or Little Beeper. I know about the two mice that would be the announcers in this fantastic movie. So I know a lot about them, as per all children of that age, from in the 90s. But I didn't know that much about basketball. No, I know big guys like Charles Barkley. And then, of course, everybody knew about Michael Jordan. Nobody didn't know who that was. Everybody knew who he was. As well as a few other human characters, like Bill Murray. Everybody knew him, and Ghostbusters, and Groundhog Day, and etc., etc., etc. Which, by the way, let me make a funny joke about that with when the character Sledgehammer referred to Bill Murray as Dan Aykroyd. So that was actually pretty funny. But unfortunately, when I made the original review of this movie years ago, it went away and the hard drive crashed. So I gotta make it again. But this time I could add a few things to it that I wasn't aware before. Like, for example, um, one of the little jokes that they put in the movie was that they named Michael Jordan's puppy dog, his bulldog. I don't know if it's really his dog or not. They named him Charles after Charles Barkley, which I think was funny. And apparently, Mr. Barkley is in on the joke too, so that makes it even more funny. Plus, the fact that I know that the character of Sledgehammer was supposed to be like an alien, more grotesque version of Danny DeVito, kind of the Penguin in Batman Returns. But I swear to God, they made this guy to be like an alien, green version of Donald Trump. I swear to God, that's not my calling on that. But case in point, whenever they refer to his own theme park, more on Mountain, I think it's the name of the theme park. It actually looks a lot like Mr. Sledgehammer, all the rides look like him, all the everything else look like him. So, in a world in which Trump can do whatever he wants, pretty much, and that he's remodeling the White House and Washington D.C. to be in his image, doesn't it kind of sound like something that he would do if he had unlimited control over everything, which he wants to do? I feel that he would make a theme park out of himself, complete with all the rides, have his image on it and everything else. I'm just throwing that out into the ether here. So anyway, this is basically my Kingdom Hearts movie, and it was very important for me in my childhood because it's best together the musical characters and the basketball people, legends. Sorry. And it was really funny. Now, I was considering doing this video for when I discussed about Easter, rather than doing the one about Watership Down. But that movie was, even though it's grotesque and very scary for a little kid, I still felt it was more proper to do that for that holiday, because Watership Down was more about rabbits and rabbits and that kind of thing, where this one involved more zany antics and a big giant basketball game at the end of it, which really does not disappoint whatsoever. Now, the first thing to talk about here is they have two people in the backyard basketball court playing Mr. Michael Jordan's father, played by Thornberry. Anyway, he was from Adventure stuff too, and what's his name? Brandon Hammond. Anyway, he played young Michael, and he's been in a few things too. Most notably, the movie Tales from the Hood, which I just saw recently. So anyway, he dribbling it up in the court and stuff. He's playing his father, and he showed him making free throws and stuff, and making them pretty well, and pretty accurately, and pretty what the world call not repetitiously, like unscheduled. He's making like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. I can't think of that word though. Anyway, then they cut to his goals. He went to play in North Carolina University, of which I never been to, but I heard it's very top notch. And well, I'm playing the championship team, and I'm playing baseball like you did. He said, "Oh, that's sweet, son, but you gotta get to bed soon. You gotta get to bed first." That's important. Good rest and a good night's sleep is really important for young minds. So then they cut to what I think is one of the biggest things to this movie, the soundtrack. Because they show Michael Jordan's rise in the basketball leagues and whatnot. They show they had the song Space Jam by Quad C DJs. Let me tell you, this song and this montage is awesome. It's 100% great. I love it. It's freaking amazing. The entire soundtrack is awesome, except for one song, and that be Fly Like an Eagle by R. Kelly. Now, as of late, Mr. Kelly has been gained quite a bit of trouble with the law. And, I gotta say that even before all that happened, I didn't really like the song that much, to be honest with you. I really didn't, I hate to chat on the soundtrack, but that was probably the weakest one in the whole bunch, for me. Yeah, I didn't like whatsoever. I thought it was too just heavy, too kind of like emotional, especially towards the middle of the movie when you do this training montage, Looney Tunes, and Michael Jordan, stop playing people. It got kind of a little annoying. But I thought this took great, especially with the high. The one song, the main theme song, be like a rap pop type collaboration. It was sick and awesome. Let's see here. There's also I think a rap song with I think with Bugs Bunny, which his voice was provided by Billy West. Yes, Stimpy in this one played the voice of him. Phil D. Fry and Zoidberg too, and D. Bradley Baker played the voice of Daffy Duck. Anyway, there's also many other characters in it too. June Foray played Granny, I think she might have been the first one of the original Grannies in the show's history. Don't quote me on that. I'm just guessing on that one. But they had Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy, playing the role of Foghorn Leghorn, which was so like, especially at the end when they show him being beat up by the monsters and very dirty tactics, and he ends up becoming a fried chicken. That's what he got. On a side note, he's my dad's favorite character of the whole pack. So let's see here. I can't really identify the actual deluxe or the monsters except for Pound. I can only tell him by name, Pound. That's the big fat orange guy that takes on the talent and appearance of Charles Barkley. And for some reason, I didn't realize that I just watched it yesterday, but they gave the blue one in there when they on Sean Bradley's appearance and talent in the book as as weird valley boy slash stoner. That's what I did that make that up. That's a delight to see that. It's best for little kids entertainment. You know, bad enough you got Shaggy from Scooby Doo, which I love to death. But you got this guy that's stoner like halfway in the bag anyway. Especially when he oh, cool shoes. Oops. And, he's like the most dimwit of the bunch. Let's see here now, it's important to note that this whole Space Jam thing about Bugs Bunny combined with basketball player with Michael Jordan, etc., that was basically a marketing ploy from a combination of with Nikes combined with Marvin the Martian or Bugs Bunny himself. So it was actually a match made in heaven for me because I don't play basketball, but I still enjoyed the animation of the movie with some CGI stuff. And it's also to note that that there was a comic that went with this. I don't remember if I actually bought the comic. It was years ago, but I will remember just one difference, which Stan Polak, played by Ray Knight, is trying to unearth Michael Jordan from underneath a hole from a golf club, and in the movie they just show him heaving with a shovel, like trying to dig it out, and there's a big giant crater worth of dirt and stuff outside the hole. And in the comic book, he said that they uses a bulldozer and excavator to try to get him out of the green from there. And that's such a pretty funny. I'm sure they probably went for more realism for the movie, and they went for Looney Tunes-esque thing for the comic book. But I know for a fact that at one point I did have most, if not all, of the Toon Squad dolls. And no, I'm not afraid to admit that I did Little Bunny, I did Bugs Bunny, I had Taz. I can tell he's my favorite one of the bunch. But it was a very missed opportunity to show his more animalistic nature. You know, he could easily attack somebody on the field or something, but he didn't do that, which is a damn shame. Because I like Taz. I want to be more or less like a more animalistic version of the Hulk, more like controlled chaos with teeth and a nice spin to him too. That would be chaos. Could you imagine how much fun it would be if the monsters were actually afraid of this guy being chained up and tied up and all that? But no, they just use him for one basket, and that was about it. And then they also had him being shocked by Witch Hazel toward the end of the movie, and they have a sign that says, "Eat at Joe's," right there. By the way, before I continue with the review, did anyone actually know a place called Joe's that was like a diner restaurant? I've always heard that joke that eat at Joe's, you know, for dinner. I never actually saw a restaurant named Joe's Restaurant, or Joe's Apartment for that matter. They probably have cultural violation of the ass, but still, would be a fun concept. So anyway, we cut to a day montage glorifying Michael Jordan in his illustrious basketball career. Which, by the way, I watched that documentary on Netflix about his career, about Michael Jordan's career. I was like, damn, I'm constantly waiting for them to do a thing about Space Jam, because that's what I want to hear about. You imagine it, like, in one sentence in the last episode, we're like, son of a bitch, maybe we were one sentence, maybe two at the most. God damn it. Anyway, I was really let out about that one. But so, whatever. It wasn't that big of a deal. We mentioned in the movie that they had Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd and the other Looney Tunes fighting to prevent them from eating slaves and all that stuff. So anyway, after his big press release conference in there, he said that, that my father was able to see my last basketball game, which was pretty poignant. I know the real person got to do that, but RIP to him. Also, they mentioned that he wants to play professional baseball under the number 45. I have no idea why that number sticks in my head, but it does for some strange oddball reason. I have no idea why. Can you guys maybe help me out with why number 45 actually sticks in my head so much? I think it might have a TBS or something. So anyway, we cut to when he makes the announcement that he wants to go to baseball, which, mind you, was a real thing when one day he wanted to go play professional baseball. And, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he did kind of stink at it. I would think that an athlete would be good at all sports to some degree, but I guess he was too concentrated in basketball to make the switch fully into baseball or any other type of ball games like golf or football. That would be funny. Could you imagine for a moment Michael Jordan, a skinless thing, playing football, or a guy that easily are over 100 pounds heavier than he is? That would be a massacre. So anyway, they have they have it where then they go, the camera goes high, like really high, like a CGI high, to the point where they go into outer space to see one mountain in which they go into outer space, and they go into the planet Mara Mountain, where they find Mitzvah's Hammer's theme park, and people, this one kid is like screaming and all this stuff and going yay 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 as he being electrocuted with the cigar subsequent bolt from Mitzvah's Hammer's fake cigar blast or whatever. To the point that it ends up catching fire and they get in the father and they'll go overboard and they crash onto the sidewalk. Yeah, real sweet right there. That's some real roller coaster tycoon type stuff right there. But past inspection. So the father says, don't take me in here anymore, right? So then Mr. Sledgehammer is shown watching TV. This one kid really irks him. You know, out of all the other customers and clients he might have, this one kid, little bright little son bitch, says, no, I don't want to come in anymore. So don't come in anymore. So then the guy says, no, you talk to little minion friends over there. Little nerdlocks, they call them. And he says, I want the Looney Tunes. I need something good, something loony. And so then somebody else says, thank you. So then they look at the Looney Tunes and they think that they're funny and stuff. They do the thing where Daffy goes, coming out, shoot me, all this stuff. So it's kind of nice to look at the old Looney Tunes from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s cartoons. But it's weird because they have no context for this stuff, you know. They just assume that it's funny because we laugh at them, you know. For all we know, aliens might have a different sense of humor. And then much later I'll point out another point that I want to make about this little bet they have. Anyway, they end up going to, they send 5 of the Rainbow Warriors, get them the 5 Nerdlocks are red, orange, green, purple, and blue to go get the Google Looney Tunes. And I really like the fact that when they do this, they really make a big deal of it. These little aliens are jokes, and you don't really think that they're First Bugman did the whole that trick where he described himself, but they didn't. Never heard of him. I mean, the aliens, they're supposed to be really smart, but yet they're almost far away from this. Almost, in the fact that they end up blasting away every part around Bug Bunny, and they say, yeah, you think we are stupid? Don't move a muscle. And that's very adorable. Well, they have really high-pitched voices. They're kind of like chipmunks. So, one of the guys said, you guys will be too proud. We're going for a ride. To which the stoner guy says, yay, where are we going? And so the guy slapped him in the face. He said, are we there? So then you see Stan Polak driving Mr. Jordan around and then jumping off his old colonial house. Now, I don't think that it's too out of character to think that Michael Jordan would live in a house like that. Trying to be blend in, like a nice moderate house. But I would think that there'd be some kind of indication of who it was who owned the house. For example, like a basketball themed, pillars and stuff outside the house. That would be nice. Or like a mailbox with like M. Jordan on the outside or something like that. Funny thing, my old EOP counselor from college, his name was MJ. So I thought it may have been in reference to Michael Jordan, obviously, or Michael Jackson. But no, it wasn't that. It was part of the name actually, but it wasn't either one of the famous guys. The Michaels. So anyway, he is tackled by his dog, Pikachu Charles, And it's real funny that the mother-in-law character, she said, "Get off him, Charles. Get off of him before I cook you." And that's really funny because I myself, after the president and Fox News made fun of Haitian Americans and whatnot for wanting to cook their animals and pets and everything, I always sit in my hand, I'm gonna make a cat in there to play or something, or barbecue cat or something rather. And I said, because you love the cat, and know you take care of the cat very well, you can have the wishbone. I'm thinking, it's sadistic, but she played along because she knows I would never really do that to my poor Bella. Or would I? So anyway, they say that he said that that the kid that during the baseball game, his first baseball game in the pro league, as it were, he sucked at baseball. I don't know if that's really true in real life, but in the movie at least he was terrible at it. And and when that happened, they were really nice to him for some reason. Like, for example, the catcher was saying that, he was giving hints as to what ball would be thrown, like a fastball, curveball, etc., which is kind of like a form of cheating, if you ask me. And also, when he struck out, the guy in the dugout were like, that was a good cut, Mike, good cut. When you strike out, man, it looks nice. When I struck out, it looks nasty, man. I'm real nasty. It's like, how much one can kiss his ass? I mean, I know he's a famous baseball player and stuff, but man, call a bad hit a bad hit. That's all they do it. And we get the introduction of Green Knight as Dan Polite. A very very anxious and nervous guy trying to make sure that everything is to Michael's specifications and just making it dog out himself pretty much. A real fanboy. Because you know that this character really enjoyed the job and really wanted to impress some higher ups and wanted to make sure that the star in question is like up and up and everything happy and everything. I'm sure that if Michael asked to do so, he probably would say he probably would rub his feet or something. But think how we have to picture that in my head because I really don't want to imagine that. So anyway, he choked. That stands right on his altitude, as it were, in an old beater car, and that's where we get the drop off of Michael's house. So then it's interesting because they show an old Looney Tunes short on TV for the kids, and they show like Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoon, one of my personal favorites. And I don't know, I'm pretty sure that they made original animation for just this cartoon, for just this movie. So anyway, Porky Pig ends up interrupting them and saying that there's an emergency meeting at Town Hall. Stop what you're doing and come and get it. So they just quit right there. And Wile E. Coyote just blasting off again. big tightrope thing again. And then it did so. The kids, where'd they go? So, this is like work for the learning teams, like, that they have to, they have a schedule to keep and everything, and all the pies, all the envelopes, all the everything else. That's like a work type schedule for them. They can leave whenever they want to, or whenever they are called for meetings and such. And that's very funny. So, they go to the big conference with the news, like saying, come with us or perish or whatever. You'll come with us for us. And since they learned about that Bugs Bunny is a little wisecracker, and just to keep artists, they chain him up real pretty, like. And it's real funny that he's so much wise ass that actually chain up his ears. So that's kind of funny too. So like we're not going anywhere. So it's funny that it was me saying I could come to the defense of everybody, because normally he's portrayed as a shooting bad guy that shoots first as the leader. So it's really kind of amazing that he's like put him up. So then I think it's the orange one, he drops first and he shoots him and he burns it to a crisp. And then once they realize that these aliens have serious firepower, after everyone witnesses it, and they're like, okay, we'll go in peace. We'll go in peace. Don't shoot us. Please don't shoot us. And then Bugs Bunny says they can't give them a chance to defend themselves, because it's in the rule book. It's pretty much we got raw Looney Tunes. That's how it is. And so they come up with a basketball game, because they find out that the aliens are small, slow, and dim-witted. So they can't possibly win a basketball game, right? I mean, they don't have the physique or the quickness to do it. So then they say, okay, well, what is basketball? I don't know what this is. You never had this in school. And then Bugs says, lights! And then they hook up an old-fashioned projector, and they show old footage of black and white guys playing the game of basketball, like from the, I don't know when it was made, more like in the 40s, I'd say 40s, early 50s, like it's some black and white, but these guys don't know what the hell doing in basketball. Even when a ball goes out of bounds, to see the guys shaking and stuff, and it's very, very funny to me at least. I could probably play basketball better than those guys in the video footage. Also, it's in a time way back when just only white men, and I'm assuming just white men, were able to play basketball. No women whatsoever. So, yeah. That did go to show how old this footage is. And, the best players in the world are in the NBA. That's what the news like the idea about going to New York City to get the best players in the world of talent. So then you get a little clip of the guys in the cheat coach in front of the crowd. What going to a basketball game? Now they have to try to steal talent from the big guys from the game. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get all the teams right. It's Charles Barkley, Sean Bradley, Monkey Bugs, Patrick Ewing, and the other one. Yeah, Larry Johnson, and they go for Charles Barkley first, and the person who is sitting next to is the woman from Everyone Raymond, I forgot her name offhand, and Dan Castellaneta from the Simpsons fame, Homer Simpson. So I'm actually very surprised they don't do like a spoof on the movie Space Jam for the Simpsons. They should. Well, anyway, they slim down and they gather around. They have the one guy take Charles Barkley's talent, but they use like a weird I should put this like remember the pink slime from the Sun Ghostbusters movie? Yeah, it kind of resembled that, but more of a ectoplasm plus its your form, so they were able to slide through and take the talent of these big time players. And in the case of Sean Bradley, was a very, very big player. I think he might have been the tallest one in the bunch up until that point. I think Yao Ming actually taller than him, but whatever. So anyway, they have him slink in there and then come out of the Magic basketball. So I got his talent. So it wasn't so much talent, more of his brain function, because when the basketball players end up not being able to, as they get the talent sucked from them, they don't really you can't play basketball, they can't catch a ball, they can't do anything normally. They can't even, they can barely even put two and two together. They can barely speak together. They can barely, they can't use a wall ball in the same way again too. So they're just a mess. And unfortunately, this is kind of where they make a good comparison with COVID-19, in that there was a whole big guys shut down public areas, put tops on everything, that the viruses like that can travel faster than the speed of light, which I'm pretty sure is impossible. But anyway, they make a big deal out of it, and then the players were afraid to go in anywhere they wore gas masks. So it was like a little mini COVID outbreak. Even though COVID would come out for like a good over 20 years at the events of this movie. Well, over 20 years. So it was it kind of predicted the future. But one thing I noticed about this is that when they have these the guys when they have stealing talent off of these players, they actually showed them on camera they show him, freaking out and, having like a little mental seizure and all that. Like that type of thing, like with Muggy's bugs and stuff. And it showed Sean Bradley being unable to walk properly during the club on that one. And then it showed Patrick Ewing not being able to catch a ball properly. It showed Larry Johnson not squeezing a squirt out and it missing his mouth altogether. So it was more like I had a coordination problem. Again, you're in the club, but you're in good company. So anyway, it showed I'm freaking out and getting assaulted by an invisible force. But the cameras do not show wherever it's attacking them. So the little aliens are able to get away with this scot-free. Which I think is wrong because, you should at least show a little pink slime going up into the nose, into the brain, and screaming it up in the head, and taking what little brain they have left over, and bring back the little spot in the crowd. So anyway, they call for expert advice, and Luton call for expert advice when the little aliens come by and want to use the car for practice, and they end up absorbing all the talent from the big basketball. It's funny because each talent strain, I guess, goes to each individual, the correct alien to transform him into the monster, more grotesque alien color-coded links themselves. But I would like to think it'd be funny if, let's say, the orange one got the talent for an appearance of Charles Barkley. So instead of him, if he got instead the appearance and skills of, say, Patrick Ewing, or Sean Bradley, that would actually be pretty funny. So anyway, the Luton's like, oh my god, we're gonna get creamed. So then they call for advice from Michael Jordan. And rather than sending a telegram or some kind of letter or something, or maybe advertising on TV that we need your help and stuff, no, they end up waiting until he's on the golf green with Bill Murray and Larry Bird of all people, and Steve Polak is following them and stuff, and he ends up doing like a magnetic, spiral around to get his board into the hole and stuff. Which I'm pretty sure that, number one, magnets don't work that way. Number two, I'm pretty sure that glow balls are not magnetic. And there is some kind of regulation issue with the balls. So anyway, he ended up in the ball in the hole, and then Michael's like, nobody questioned it. Nobody questioned where the ball went around and around and around and around. You would think that Bugs Bunny would try and be inconspicuous about it. He would just have the ball go from point A to point B. So anyway, they do that, and as Michael reaching down and grabbing the ball, a lasso comes in and lassos his hand, and then they force it into the hole a Looney Tune-esque move a bit. I want you to keep that in mind for later. So, it's kind of interesting that at the end of all the Sun teams, they show that there's nothing there, there's nothing on the bottom of the cup. So I wonder what happened to where Michael's ball went. And I know it's a minor thing, but still. So anyway, they took Stanley Oliver down there, and they showed him looking through the hole, but there's no actual block to the hole. So it's basically looking at the Warner Bros. Logo. So anyway, they show him going through this big chunk of dirt, and then they show him going through the Warner Bros. Logo. And it's funny because when the aliens went through this tunnel with different size of course, and went through the tunnel membrane, it was more or less like it broke through the seal to the point that there might be a hole in the sky where the ship went through. But when Michael goes through it, it finally flexes and does like a membrane, like back and forth like a bounce type of thing. So I guess it must be determined by the size of the object going through it. So in any case, they show up and doing various Looney stuff like that. They get famous looking through the ear hole and then seeing nothing through the other side, taking earwax and a paper clip through there, and then Bugs Bunny says the lazy who type of thing, which is funny because this is a human that we're talking about here. A real person with a brain and with organs and stuff. So yeah, that was kind of funny. And then he said that he gives us the story so far where they have Michael Jordan is that we need your help, which I feel is like a big I see it's like in a kind of stop part of the scene where that's it, they just stuff like that could be your cover. And we need your help with Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan, two icons of movie hit of history, Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. And I look away in the credits they have them as like real people, both in like Bugs Bunny, real person, real bunny, and Michael Jordan's cartoon. Which we'll get to in a moment. But then they're also introduced all the Looney Tunes and the gym facilities, and they say, we got weights, we got this, we got that. And then Sylvester says, we have balls. And then he gets bowled over by a bunch of balls and stuff from a locker. That's funny. And then they do a spit trying, and then they have Ted Boy over there, do like lemony fresh. And then he spins everything dry and everything. And they also introduced Lola Bunny. Now, I like Lola in this movie, in the Baby Looney Tunes cartoon, over the Mama cartoon. Why? It's not because of any type of deep-seated desire for Lola Bunny. It's more because Lola looks more natural in the cartoon instead of the modern one. Now, I don't like the whole but I did look to certain characters in cartoons. They did it too with Dexter Laboratory, and I don't like it whatsoever. That's probably why season 4 failed. One of the reasons why. I mean, Lola Bunny is voiced by Kath Sushi. That's the right name. That's the right pronunciation. And boy, is she really, really good. I don't understand why people say that, they just put Lola in there just for sexual appeal and everything. They did just to appeal to young women because, let's face it, with the possible exception of Tweety Bird and Granny, most of Looney Tunes is pretty much a sausage fest. So to introduce a really popular and really strong female character is very, very important. Granted, she's a bunny and a hot one at that, but still very nice for look off a role model, especially when they kick that ass in sports. Now, I don't really like the idea about calling a person dull and getting them pissed off because they want to fight you. I'm sure being called dull is like a cat call type thing, if someone cat calls a woman and she gets pissed off, it's like a say for that person. Or if someone says that I'm a retard or something, it'd be something like that. Like, I want to kick their butts, like Christy Brown would. But anyway, they end up. They actually said that you guys are nuts. Michael Jordan said the guys. So Daffy Duck said, no, we're proud of it. We're proud of the one of the things that we made with. And he actually kisses an own ass. But on his ass tongue, it's a logo for Warner Brothers. So I don't know if he's kissing his own butt in that, or if he's kissing the butt of Warner Brothers. So anyway, they show the monsters coming into the gym to practice and intimidate Jordan and the others. And let's see here. One thing I gotta point out is that when the Looney Tunes enter into a building, they do it very young. Normally, they enter into the door and everything good stuff. But these guys say, when the monsters enter a room, they do like, what's that? They do it like very rude, very brusquely. They do it very we're here, so what are you gonna do about it? Also, it's funny that when actually hits his face on the backboard of one of the hoops. Because it's so tall, they do a lot of hijinks to him. I wonder if Sean Bradley was involved with that at all. Yeah. But anyway, let's see here. They also crunch up Michael Jordan into a ball, or a cube as it were, and then he throw him around and dribble him into like a real basketball. Now, when you put this into the file, like with the other file before, about him exhibiting cartoon features. Let's see here. Let's see probably. I also like the fact that before that, they call one of the guys one of the monsters referred to him as Baldy. So Michael actually takes offense to that. For whatever reason, I guess being called Baldy is like a big insult to him. Even though Pound over there, the one guy, doesn't have any hair in his head to begin with. That's actually pretty funny. Also, I'll point out that when they crunch him up into a cube and do the cartoon physics on him and stuff, they actually show, they actually show him, being crushed up in the cube, and that effect was actually used exactly like with the basketball theme of it in the movie Steel, which Shaquille O'Neal, which is a basketball player, and was also in this movie too. I can't remember seeing him in the movie, but he was there apparently on the IMDb page. They have in it. We made like a 2-second cameo. Same with Scottie Pippen. He was there, but I don't remember seeing him in there. And I think I would know Shaquille O'Neal at least. Although he wasn't my favorite superhero movie, Steel. The most beloved of all superhero movies. You know, forget Spider-Man, forget about Superman. Those are all hacks. But Steel's what's going on. So anyway, we took this effect and he called him Wussy Man. Now, really funny because then they show, Jordan's gotta be able to, he wants to try to train and get back in the spirit of basketball. So he's still one of those called cleats, or at least one shoe anyway. The other one's over where it's sitting in the others. So anyway, Bill Murray's like, the NBA is gonna need some more talent. I'm your man. I'm the perfect go-getter and that kind of thing. And then he said, but what about Larry? Larry's white. It could be like him. He said, Larry is not white. Larry is clear. I didn't know there was a big difference. Anyway, they show that which forget basketball stuff. Then you need sneakers. So then they look at all the feet of all the Looney Tunes characters. And I'm like, when did this become a Quentin Tarantino movie? So, sure enough, they don't have any shoes. Even the other characters that are human or humanoid, like say, Flood and Granny and Yosemite Sam, all have like a little, like Dean in that movie, The Iron Giant. So anyway, they agreed to go back to his basketball stuff and Schwartz and his basketball shoes, his gigantic boat-side Nike shoes. Which is funny because in the movie when he's gonna go to see go to the famous golf game, Stan Pollock says, you really get your game on, get your Nikes and all the products that Michael Jordan actually endorsed, like Hanes and all that. So it was very nice little plot placement in there. Anyway, so you have to go to give the things in the three to the land, third dimension land. So anyway, before I cut to that, it showed the basketball players, like doing Bradley, Muggsy Bogues, and so Buckley, he's the Phantom Wall. And it shows that he's being beat by a girl in basketball. Oh boy, a girl beat me at basketball. Well, tough shit. A lot of girls can beat me up in a lot of things. In fact, I wish a lot of girls would beat me up in a lot of things. But anyway, that's so funny because she said, "You're not tall, bugging or nobody. Be gone, be gone. Get away." That's really funny. And they're doing this song on Basketball Jones by Barry White. I doubt if he made the song just for this movie, but it's pretty funny. So anyway, just like that, they go to a psych medium for it to see what's the matter with these guys are. And then when they fail, they're like, "Wanna go do acupuncture?" Okay. And the part with the wheelchair's fun too, because like Muggsy is being pushed around in a wheelchair, and the three other tall guys behind him, like Larry Johnson, Sean Bradley, and Patrick Ewing, all falling in medical gowns and everything. And then comes a low door frame, and then like clunk, 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 all of them. I mean, you would think that being used to being so tall, they would automatically duck or at least look cautiously at the doorway and stuff. But no, clunk, 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 and then they hit the ground out on cue, on schedule. And it's just so funny. Like, please God, please restore my skills. I'll never trash talk. I'll never get a spitting cough out again. I'll never date my daughter again. That's the funny stuff. That's my funny stuff right there. Anyway, it says, actually, I forgot what else said, but that Madonna quote was so funny. The psychologist was so funny too, because, like, first of all, everyone except for Muggsy was too tall for the little psychologist couch that he had got there. I mean, you would think that they would have something bigger than that for him, but whatever. Anyway, do you find yourself not being able to perform in other areas? I think we all know what we're talking about here. So, he said, "No!" And so the psychologist said, just asking. Keep just professional, being thorough about it. So, anyway, he said that, I go back and be a fireman, go back to a farm and be a missionary. That was Sean Bradley saying that. And then Muggsy was saying that, "Are you trying to tell me that I would like to disobey my mama? But I love my mama." The doctor says, "I ain't said it. You said it, Muggsy." That was so much fun. Plus, this is all coming in all the laughs and all the good you might have with it. It still is a good sequence to show, that these people are famous for the talent that they lost. So pretty much they got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, got no discernible other talent, so they pretty much lost. They're pretty much on they're looking for every solution possible to what could happen to them and what their future is, what they might have to do. Yeah, I want to remember what I went through when I had my relapses, that they couldn't find what was wrong with me. And my parents were like always ran out of options as to what kind of tests to do and everything. So I kind of helped with them. Except for the part of the hitting on the heads on the lower hanging archway. That was pretty funny. The way I mean. But that was pretty funny. So they do feel pretty hopeless about the situation. And I thought Michael Jordan fix everything by giving them all the time back. So anyway, they show let's see here. They end up showing after they get trained and stuff. They end up doing they end up showing a big game with all the Looney Tunes coming out over there as well as Red Camera coming to see this game. To where I have to ask, why even bother with trust them in for place? The monsters handle it. All they need to have is the emissaries of the Nerdrock population to actually take care of everything. You don't need the big boss. Anyway, they each come by now to read the text later on. Anyway, they do pump the jam, and they show Little Bunny actually, you see, yes, as she getting pumped and everybody else getting ready and stuff, and you see a whole bunch of people coming into this big stadium there, and they show all they show like Gossamer, they show the Bull there, they show all the other big type characters, which I think they should have used Gossamer, and they should have used I can't think of his name, the big wrestler guy, and the big bold man of pure muscle, a mountain of a man. They used him in Pokemon show for Tiny Toon Adventures. Anyway, they should use him, and god damn it, they should use the Roadrunner and Speaker the fastest mouse on this show. And what the hell? These two speedsters can easily run around the monsters around the world. In fact, in time the monster and scored 3 points or something, they could use them, but no, they didn't use them at all. And in fact, they used Little Sneezer or Little Beeper. I mean, a federal mouse squid guy that is crushed by the beluga baseball. So anyway, you do suppose it, let's just go out and have fun, guys. All this stuff. And they show them all doing the epic ring around the whole arena and stuff. The public jam. Really nice, really kind of cheesy, but in a good way. Very entertaining. They actually show all the people clapping and cheering for Michael Jordan is real earnest Michael Jordan, and then they show Bugs Bunny burning the floor, and he did to the floor with no evidence of what happened. And yeah, by the way, when they get the little bunny, they show off as a sex symbol to where all the other characters in the audience are hollering for her and stuff, even though they're not rabbit species. And that they show her being a slow forward, a very scintillating forward. Then when you get to Daffy, nobody makes noise for him or quiet. And that's the joke because everyone loves Bugs Bunny, everyone loves Taz, the one from down under, and nobody likes Duck. I love Daffy. You're okay, man. I prefer you over Donald McDane Day. So there. Anyway, they show the monsters coming in. I'm high, how high am I? Hello. And that's funny. But anyway, before I forget about this, they show Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck going into the house and getting the stuff from 3D land and ran into the dog too. The only reason why I bring this up is because I'm one part of the movie where he got some very interesting places for his shoes. One's on top of the trophy rack, the other is in the dog's mouth. The shorts are in the dog's mouth. So, and they also have a training sequence to fly like an eagle, which Stan appears and he's like, "Oh no, not him again! I got peace." That was Michael Jordan's expression, like, "Oh no, where the hell did you come from?" Now, it makes somewhat sense that Michael Jordan made a little hole in the ground and made the Middle Earth type thing. But seeing it's a little more complex than that. It's a big guy. I wonder how he got in there. Bill Murray has no explanation whatsoever as to how he got there. But anyway, that's not what I'm bringing up. I want to bring a bit that before these Looney Tunes actually introduce themselves to kids, and they talk about the Mickey Mouse organization named the Ducks, which is a stab at Disney. But I didn't know that when they did that joke, they were actually referring to the Mighty Ducks cartoon series and the movie series. Anyway, they show two cartoon characters burrowing underground, and for some reason when you get to the walkway before the house, they actually do like weird sound effect to show the concrete and the rock being brought up. It sounds kind of like a poop for some reason, like a poop sort of sound. And then they show Daffy getting mauled by the dog, and then the kids end up chasing the dog away, give Bugs Bunny the father's shorts. Anyway, it's kind of weird, and it's kind of odd to see the dog would have the shorts. And it's funny that here Daffy called Bugs Bunny a fuzzfoot for being clumsy. You know, no one gets for Bugs to be cool and suave. Kind of like an animator, James Bond. Not James Bond cartoon, but I mean James Bond Jr. Anyway, I'm going to fall into that. Like, now, I'll see. I had a big game and everything. Let's see here. What was I? Oh yeah. They introduced everybody, and then they choked Bugs Bunny. This one in part 4, and this one in Michael's house. But without anybody falling to hold me under the rug, by the way, they actually show them actually doing basketball battle with the monsters. And the monsters actually fight dirty because they use their size to overwhelming forces to crush all the Looney Tunes until the second half, where they're like at like a 60-point disadvantage. Somewhat people at the monsters, and it's fun that they bring it up because the kids say, we're gonna be slaves, we're gonna give up, we're gonna be slaves. Well, that's pretty much what they do anyway. They make jokes, they make comedy, they hurt themselves for entertainment. So what's the difference between doing it here and doing it on another planet? They make them feel bad, and then they end up Michael makes a deal with Sledgehammer. He said that if we win, give all my teammates and friends in the NBA the talent back. Because in the last scene they showed in the locker room, which the monsters actually revealed that they took all talent from the enemy and from the NBA players to steal the talent and win. It's very similar to Cell, stealing all the techniques of all the good people on Earth and using them against them. So anyway, they attack poor Stan, and Stan told the other guys about it, and then they give up on it. So Bugs Bunny comes up with it, the secret sauce. And the secret sauce is just water, but he makes a big deal out of it. And then he bulks up to inhuman proportions. And for some reason, Lola actor likes this, finds it very attractive. So you see the other characters fighting over the throne wall and his Michael's good stuff. So they end up attacking each other for it till he gets a piece of it. And what's the name? That I won't fight too. Daffy Duck gets it. Everybody gets it except for Sans. Gets it. The bottle is empty. So that's pretty funny. I would think that they would take the emptiness for Daffy, but I guess they had mercy for him in this time. And by the way, he did what the actor says. This goes against everything you taught me in health class, which Michael says, "Do you want to win or not?" So he says, "Bombs up," and takes a little bit of it. This scene is actually pretty good because it shows that even though it's just water, it's kind of like a placebo effect in that there's no actual active ingredient in this water thing, maybe electrolytes, but it shows that they have the special sauce inside the mouth all the time anyway. So when they go back to the second half, they end up Looney Tuning it. And by that I mean that Bugs Bunny comes up with a scooter and scooters way while dribbling the ball and everything into points. Pepe Le Pew skunks it up and he does the same thing. And meanwhile, all the monsters are like they're puking and they're fainting from the stench, while everyone else has things on the nose. And let's see, they got for doing that slam dunk. They have wonderful and beautiful ode to Pulp Fiction with both Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam, two gun operators on the show, doing like shooting at people and then like ha 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 and bam, and then they show Wild Cody stuff in the other court with dynamite and fireworks. It's just so funny, it's so good, so classic. And they do funny about Pepe Le Pew. I remember that when they had remember in the cartoon they had a funeral cat that got painted black with white stripe down the middle. She hated Pepe Le Pew's advances, but in this cartoon, in this movie, they have like love in Pepe Le Pew. Like he's so brave, and they have Tweety Bird kicking the monster's butt, and then the Sledgehammer makes a deal with Michael Jordan, saying that if I win, you get my friends to Tom back, the NBA players. But if they win, you get me. So I'm like, so who cares? I know that Michael Jordan is like a big deal in the world, and in particular in America. He's like a superstar athlete. Like everyone knows him. Everybody from Australia to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and stuff. So it's a big deal. But if you take him and you put him in a more mountain, for example, with completely changed, yet the slavery reference right there, I don't like I changed. And that the same kid that insulted the theme park to begin with, it'd be like a Sledgehammer thing. We got Michael Jordan, so there's name somebody and you can win against him and stuff. It's like, what makes you think these alien kids are really gonna give a shit about basketball? The nerd looked and said, we never had that in high school. I mean, who's really gonna give a shit who Michael Jordan is and basketball is? It's like you're gonna send autographs all day, night and night. You're gonna lose against all the paid customers. Who gives a fuck? Aliens certainly don't know who Michael Jordan is. They messed him when they were gathering talent for this game. What makes Sledgehammer think that anyone can give a shit about him? Besides, why does Sledgehammer care so much about this one kid? It looks like somebody from Outlaws Jones, but that's besides the point. There's also not something that I bitch about You know, who's really care about basketball or Michael Jordan? They don't know the rules of the game. They don't know anything about the game. So then they crush them. So then, like, no holds barred. Like, Monsters, they crush people. They crush Sylvester under the shoe. They body slam Emma Flood, in which is when he falls, it's like a little screech like, eep, and that's real funny. It's like Michael Jordan's head pounded about to really crush under his big butt, which could be revenge for him getting it shown off his butt to blow abundantly earlier in the movie that someone fishes and gets his boxes were in the mistake. He sees big fat one's ass. Yeah, I'm not gonna add to that. And anyway, he's like crushing her. He's like about to crush her. So then Bug throws her out of the way. He gets body slammed by a pound instead, and here's your man. So as he gets up, like, you know, he pops back into normal BB shape. Where I think they can do that right away and be fine afterwards. If the same thing happened to Lola, there'd be no difference. He'd be fine Danny and Big to take off anybody. They did this film as a consequence. Because she said, well, Bug, the nice thing anyone ever done for me. And then she kissed him. And then he's like, eek. And he's like enamored by her. Yeah, there are some points where she does score some good points on the monster. Like when she does when Pound actually calls the doll, and then he jumps up, hits his face with her feet, and then scores a dunk on him. Don't ever call me doll. A lot of interaction between Pound and Lola Bunny for some reason. I don't know why they tried to rule this. Probably did that on purpose. So anyway, they showed that they showed that she needs to down and out, and then you have to stand over there doing nothing. And they showed that Granny the cheerleader and probably a medic too. So then all the people there, they don't use the conduit, whatever her name was. Lenny the conduit or something like that. And I also really like the fact that even the bad guys in the show, Muggsy and whoever his second hand guy is, the two gangsters. They show them all running bunny ears for when Bugs Bunny comes into play. Which is really cute. You know, being that he's the ruler of Toon Land. So let's see what else is there. She had the dog drops are like too. So yeah. Now you pick the mouse, a little beeper character, the blue guy ends up throwing a basketball gun and crushing him. That isn't very fair. That isn't very nice either. So then they end up picking up Stan, and Stan gets pulled by the bouncer, and out of 5 of them, crushing him, he ends up throwing the ball into the basket. So that like evens up the bridge. And no, it's not lost on me that they have Marvin the Martian of all people being the referee, because you see from both accounts. Number one, he's Looney Tunes. Number two, he's an alien himself. So that makes a perfect match. And to be a perfect neutral referee. So anyway, they have the two dogs end up being medics for the team, and they end up having a stand of like cartoon like blow up thing where they try and pump him up or air pump. And it's real funny that they end up he ends up filling up like a big balloon and everything else. And he's like and then when it's released, he ends up making a big fart where everyone like pew. Even Pepe Le Pew's like pew. This thing. So I wonder how it feels. How does it feel, boy? I guess it must be that the smell is so potent that you can't even eat that. Even a skunk can't stand the smell. Or it might be that a skunk can only be immune to his own smell, to his own scent. So anyway, then Michael Jordan says, "How do you do that?" To which Bug rubs definitely extends it, and he says, "This is Looney Tunes. Even you could do that." To which I say, "But he's been doing this the whole time. He's been doing it when he was when he first landed in the Looney Tunes world, and then he's been doing it when he returns into that little cute thing and dribbled and shot through a hoop by the monsters. So he's been doing this the whole time. Maybe not well, but he's been doing it all the time." That's another plot point that it's kind of irks me a little bit now. So then the next part is that another thing now that you're gonna have to forfeit unless you can become one more guy on your team. Everyone else on the team is dead or dying. Like Pepe Le Pew is still busted. You got Tweetbird in a coma. You have Joe's with the Tasmanian devil. You have Frogman a chicken, which I find very funny that they end up showing him use the golf club to attack Tweetbird when the monster were playing rough. And then they had the guy the green monster getting with popcorn liquor with his fire breath, making him extra crispy. And I mean that's really funny. Granny was in a wheelchair, using a little pump and all that. And it was funny that Daffy threw the ball to her, to which all the monsters and tackling Granny and things. But she was wide open. When Little Bunny gave him the stink eye. So anyway, then they had, what do you call it? They had Bill Murray for no reason whatsoever saying that I know this guy who dropped me off and wanted to become friends with me, so he dropped me off in the center of the earth on you. And he said, okay, and they come up with this plan for taking on the guys, and it actually worked pretty well because they're like give me the ball, I'll make the left basket. So Bill Murray actually trips up that blue guy, the blue guy, and he ends up being all the problem solved individually. I like that whole thing with Bugs Bunny and using ears to catch the ball from the purple guy. And by the way, the purple guy was actually disfigured by Daffy's hug motion, because he grabbed on his face, and by the time the guy pulled him off, he was all disfigured and everything. That was pretty funny. Anyway, Michael gets the ball, and then he jumps on Pound's face, the big orange guy, big orange ass, and he ends up jumping up and taking the ball, and then stretching over to reach the basket, because he wanted to see his kids again. He wanted to see Earth again. So he ends up getting scoring the ball, and the monsters actually see the majesty of Michael Jordan and see why he's a big deal. So anyway, I like this part because it shows the majesty, its legend, why he's so good a player and all that. But I like it because it shows that Michael Jordan is actually better than the other players in the NBA that the talent was stolen from them. It's kind of like a little bit too self-indulgent, like saying that if you didn't have me, you wouldn't win. And I'm more powerful, I'm more popular than the other guys in the NBA. That's something that I got. Then they show him out doing that and then stretching out, and then they would say, that was good, Michael. That was real good. I had no idea that Dan Aykroyd was good at basketball either. Or he was so smart and so good on his feet. And it showed the sweat camera is pissed off that mom saw it. He assaulted them. Imagine the same way the NBA players were attacked by their own compatriots. I don't believe that they would do that in a real game, but whatever. So I came out with pissed off guys, stomped on their feet, call them truck artists, call them imbeciles, call them everything else. Go back, we're gonna go back with Mom out and you're gonna get an earful. So Michael Jordan's like, why are you taking this guy? And he said, the purple guy says, because he's so much bigger than us. Bigger than we used to be. So then they put guy inside a rocket he sent off to the moon, blow up there. I'm assuming they did it, they all wanted to do that, but they never did it. I'm assuming that was before, Piccolo destroyed the moon. I'm assuming that he's still over there still. So I can't remember. So anyway, they showed that they were so embarrassed that they finally put the kibosh on Sledgehammer's rule, and then give my friend the town back. But do we have to? Yeah, and touch the ball. Come on, touch it. Touch Michael's ball. And they all revert back to their original selves. They're like, my clothes don't fit. That was so trippy. And like, can we see you guys, please? And they give like a very big smile. And they give like just like a thing to the music for Looney Tunes theme song. And he says, you better behave yourself, Bugs. And then he says, I will. And then he like hits it Lola. And then like, woohoo, woohoo. And they put a baseball game with Michael Jordan. Now, before going with wrestling, I know that they incorporated Lola Bunny into cartoon media like Looney Tunes Show and the Baby Looney Tunes and etc. future projects. But I want to see more of the Nerdlocks. Now, I wish they put them into baby form. I wish they put them into Nerdlock form. I don't think they even mentioned them in the Space Jam: A New Legacy. I think maybe at like a throwaway joke or something. I wish they put them in there and something else. Who's with me on that? So anyway, they show they have a cutaway with the baseball game, and kids say, oh, he probably at the other game. That's why he's really late. To which someone says, what other game? Come on, tell me what it is. So the baby says like, shh. And then it's like, the aliens arrive on the baseball field, and then a stand comes out and says, ladies and gentlemen, Michael Jordan. And then the song, I Believe in Me comes out and plays. And that's probably to introduce Michael Jordan with a giant crowd looking at a giant spacecraft that looks like an old car. A classic car. So anyway, that was really nice. And then he went back to being into the Chicago Bulls. We don't actually know what happened to Walnut Mountain. What Bugs Bunny or the other guys. They just show during the credits still shots of what happened from between then and now. Anyway, I like this movie a lot. Looney. So with Michael Jordan, people always say that the act was kind of stiff. I found it fine. It wasn't the best, but it was serviceable. It was good. But yeah, I like the Looney Tunes activities. I like the fact that they have I like the way that Michael Jordan eventually started out as a human being, then he got more loony as it got along until he was able to do it on free will. And I find it interesting that they making a big deal over the whole Michael Jordan basketball star type thing, but in reality, why would aliens actually give a fuck about who Michael Jordan was? You know, we as humans know who he is. He's a legend, but they won't know. They won't know who he is. They don't even know what the sport of basketball is. And I love the soundtrack of this movie too, except for a song like R. Kelly, Fly Like an Eagle. Fly Like an Eagle. Think about there. They had, I like the lighting effect of the Chicago Bulls Stadium. That's pretty cool. The arena is very cool. I like the way to give Michael Jordan like the prestige and the whole opening that he deserves, being such a talented ball player, b-ball player. I wish that they would give Bill Murray more attention, or just go off to the side with a bad knee, taking ice on his knee because bad. They never do anything with it. It just kind of him be in the spotlight with Michael Jordan, who ends up giving the talent back to players. And it's funny because they do like a seizure thing with the guys, you know, getting power back, so that type of thing. And then he says, and I'm gonna regret it, because he knows that he'll have competition again. So yeah, but he did the good thing by giving Muggsy Bogues, Charles Barkley, Sean Bradley, Larry, I'm about to say Larry David, but Patrick Ewing and Larry Johnson back their talent for basketball. They did it by doing it. And it would have been funny if let's say, if Bradley's talent got put in the Muggsy Bogues, that would have been funny. So anyway, everything all well again, everything fine and dandy, but up until Looney Tunes back in action, which is kind of like a semi-sequel to this movie. What used to be a sequel, but now that they made an actual sequel to Space Jam, A New Legacy. I don't know if anyone's call it anymore now. But yeah, I thank you for watching my lengthy review of Space Jam 96. This movie is awesome. Like I said, we're basically the video game Kingdom Hearts, but in video form. And that it combined Michael Jordan and basketball with Looney Tunes, my beloved cartoon series from the 50s and 60s, and maybe the 40s too. I do wish they used more characters like Speedy Gonzales, Costumere, the Roadrunner, I think in particular that big muscular manly man wrestler. The book they had a funny part where Daffy painted the butt of the big guy, the chunky fellow, as Bill Murray puts it, with red paint to insert the bullet through and hit his butt with his horns. That would go fun. And then you might get Palm West would use his strength size to his advantage. But I like the movie for my birthday month, 2026. And as you can tell, I definitely give this movie a big face. Silver Puzzle. It is awesome. It's a legit watch. It's only like an hour and a half long, but still it's really good. It cut the buttons really quickly. And like you get the game in like the last half hour of the movie. So it's really good to cover the event of the real life retirement of Michael Jordan to baseball from basketball and then reinstatement into basketball because he realized that he sucked at baseball. So it is my birthday month in June too. So yeah, if you guys like what you see here and you want to see more of my videos, don't like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or if you want, you can follow me on Twitter or X at PNelsonPro. Also, you can get me on my my email at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. PNelsonPro on Twitter or X. And I salute all you guys who like these cartoon and live action hybrids. There's also some CGI in it too. Like when they rotate around the arena, which I swear to God, they incorporated some of the repeat of the characters too, like wallpaper. And hopefully yeah, this movie's awesome. Check it out. It's great. Dependent. Basketball fans like it. Cartoon fans like it. It's all good. So peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video for you girls and guys in ancient land. Sayonara. Me saying, I have a